For a lot of World of Warcraft players, the world is important. Not everyone wants to feel alone. Part of the allure of this or any MMORPG is the perception that they are participating in a living, breathing world. Spontaneous cooperation, spontaneous conflict. Just my opinion, but if I were to describe a healthy MMO landscape, it'd be one that, at most times of the day, feels alive. It doesn't necessarily have to be filled to the brim with people to the point where the content is overrun by a tidal wave of player activity, but at a range somewhere in between. In the World of Warcraft though, we see inconsistencies regarding faction balance, or simply having very high or low populations altogether. Hey, it's Sol with news, opinions, and analyses, and today we're going to talk about World of Warcraft's game design when it comes to controlling realm population. We'll go into the history, identify problems and areas of opportunity where Blizzard can improve the look and feel within WoW, and point out where this has already happened. Before I start though, let's dispel any premise that I'm an expert on what I'm talking about. This is armchair development here. Any understanding that I may appear to have doesn't mean we can overlook my lack of experience and education on game design, engineering, and acumen. So let's get started. We'll start with how we got to the situation of realm imbalance. In the US alone, the World of Warcraft launched with roughly 90 realms or servers to choose from. Over the next 5 years, the number of realms more than doubled, and by 2009, at least in terms of subscriber numbers, WoW was nearing its peak. Predictably enough, there have been very few realms added since then, and the subscriber population has been on a slow decline. This whole time, players have been creating and transferring characters between realms. There's a range of preference players have when it comes to realm population, but it's probably safe for me to say that most players do want people around them, preferably friends. This leads to the types of character and guild transfers to be from a lower population to a higher population realm. If not transfers, players may just stop playing on a realm altogether and re-roll in a realm that thrives. If nothing was done from 2009 till now, it's likely we'd see the majority of realms die off, or at least have a one-sided population. Interestingly enough, that conversation still takes place to this day. Things were done though. New tech was created to help prevent the dreaded announcement informing players that their realm was going to shut down. This sort of thing isn't unheard of when a long-running MMO needs to cut down on infrastructure. I strongly believe it's a myth that server merges are a bad public relations move because dead realms are arguably worse. In fact, I believe the action of merging realms is a sensitive issue that can be confusing and frustrating for those who are a part of it. Especially in a game like WoW where faction balance determines some aspects of gameplay, taking steps to possibly alter it will result in mixed reactions. 2011 marked the year when Blizzard started launching initiatives to curb the closing of realms. Grouping with players from other realms has been around since WoW's early days, but it wasn't until the Cataclysm expansion when players were allowed to manually group together for dungeons, battlegrounds, and other instance content, thanks to the Real ID system implemented earlier. This helped link people who were already friends, but it was only a small measure of what's to come. In 2012, with the launch of Mists of Pandaria came a piece of controversial technology that allowed certain zones to be shared across multiple realms. Cross-Realm Zones, or CRZ, was designed to make low-traffic areas of the world feel more populous. This usually occurred in older leveling zones, and not where most max-level players would journey to, like capital cities or zones with the most current, active content of its time. This was a step up to allow friends to group together outside of instance content, but was still only a half measure compared to what came next. Along with cross-realm zones came the ability to virtually merge realms together. Virtual realms, later called connected realms, are self-explanatory. Select realms were now considered merged, from presence to grouping to commerce. Characters are distinguished by realm name in a connected realm, which especially helps with those who share the same name. This was the answer to the question of whether or not some realms would be closed and merged with others. For the most part, they wouldn't just be not closed, they would be merged too. This period of connecting realms wasn't very long, but it was aggressive. Within a 1-year period between 2013 and 2014, the total number of realms was virtually cut in half, with over 75% of realms connecting to at least one other. There were a few realms that did not merge, which were ones with an already high population but at the same time an extreme faction imbalance. The goals for connecting realms was simple: cut the number of realms in half, relieve extremely low pop realms, and make efforts to balance factions. By the end of 2014, the shrinking number of realms was trending alongside subscriber population. More importantly, the infrastructure was now in place to seamlessly resolve issues with realm population as needed, as subscriber numbers would inevitably and eventually decline further. But Blizzard still wasn't done with controlling realm population. With World of Warcraft Legion came some new tech based on CRZ called Sharding. With it, places like major cities or popular questing areas will become separate instances in case those areas became overpopulated. Processing power and bandwidth have come a long way since 2004. Illegally run private servers are able to boast hundreds or even thousands of players in a given area, so why doesn't Blizzard allow the same thing? If there was a vision of connecting realms to the point where there's only one mega realm, Blizzard doesn't share that at all. In fact, between all this technology, Blizzard's designers have some very clear intentions. They of course don't want a WoW with its players spread so widely that they won't find each other. But they also don't want the outdoor world to be overrun with a swarm of players. They seek a certain balance, whether players want it or not. Let's use a simple objective as an example, defeating a special enemy. In the old WoW, the first player to kill it gets the credit, or tag, for defeating it. Any other players present have to wait their turn. Let's pretend there are 50 players. From past experience, waiting or fighting over a tag was no fun. Over time, new tech came in to help curb that. It's not perfect, but thanks to shared mob tagging, dynamic scaling, and sharding, those 50 players will complete their objective in a fraction of the time, and the enemy feels just a little bit more epic all the while. Some players wouldn't mind 50 bodies on a single quest mob. Blizzard at least sort of disagrees. With all these changes though, is there still a need to connect realms even further? We might just find out this week, soon after, or not at all. Now that the ability to merge and split realms is in place, all that's left is the timing to do it. And there is a right and wrong time for such a move. As we've been told and probably have experienced, WoW has a cyclical nature to its subscriber population. Its lowest points are typically during the months before an expansion, and it spikes around launches, with some additional peaks here and there when a major content patch is released. The best time to revisit realm connections is now, just after the 7.1 patch and while it's still early into Legion's lifecycle. This several month range gives the best sample for Blizzard to look at when it comes to choosing which realms should come together. Thanks to sharding, there's less worry about creating a connected realm that's too busy, as long as its peak times aren't met with login queues, something that's probably universally disliked. I do have one suggestion for the Blizzard team when it comes to connecting all these realms, and it's to do something about this. This is a long, exhausting, and deceptive list of realms. New players do in fact enter the game at times, and of course other players still transfer in between realms looking for greener pastures. It's confusing to see a realm that isn't what it appears to be. It's hard to tell which realm is more populous than the other, or which realm is actually the same as another. Players should have an opportunity to know just how populated a realm choice is, or at least what realms are connected together. This can be done by creating a primary realm name followed by subnames for each of the other connected realms. This way players can still have a chance of what realm to choose, and the connected realm itself gives them a better idea of the population. I have to admit I wasn't able to tell with absolute certainty that the population header there reflects the state of just that realm, or if it includes information from all of its connected realms. Blizzard walks a fine line when it tries to define their ideal MMO experience through its newfound ability to control the population. It's also come upon the opportunity to bring more players together and send the message that it wants us to not feel alone. Share your thoughts, and stay breezy.